your girl Kimra here. I'm back with another video. Astrology, some more tea. This time we're going to get into the Mars series. Now I was going to start with the moon. Excuse me. I was going to start with our moon sign, but I have a Mars in Scorpio, okay? I'm conjunct Pluto in the 5th house, Sun in the 7th house, sex and relationships. This is my expertise. This is my favorite area. Can't wait to get into Mars and Scorpio. But we're starting with Mars and Aries, who is Mars' traditional ruler. Okay, now let's just break down a little bit of the history on Mars, or just information on Mars. Mars is drive. It's the masculine area in a woman's chart. The masculine expression in a woman's chart. In a man's chart, it's going to show things like, in both charts it's going to show like libido, but especially in a man's chart, things like libido, what you're attracted to, also mostly how you go after what you're attracted to, but also it can be what you're attracted to as well. But you want to look at your Venus. Venus is wants, Mars is how we go after what we want. Mars is drive, Mars is ambition. It's our sexual like virility, you know, our stamina or the lack thereof. Mars also represents just someone that Mars also represents that part of your chart where you're just relentless in pursuit and possibly a little bit more selfish. Keep in mind, like I always say, you want to check how things are aspected, okay? Because that can change things around a lot, okay? But we'll get into that later because I'm going to be breaking down the aspects and all that. But yeah, Mars is traditionally ruled by Aries, okay? Or Aries is traditionally ruled by Mars. In the mythology, Aries represented more like the savage beast. Like there are some slight differences and a lot of similarities. One is that Mars in Greek mythology more so represented, you know, he did like the energy god of Mars did represent the energy that made the Romans warrior like, but also he also represented peace and tranquility, whereas the god Aries is more the god of savage war. Okay, so when we see Aries coming into the sign, Aries, I'm sorry, let's get back on Aries. So Aries represents that athlete, that impulsivity, that quick-tempered, quick to respond, very knee-jerk reaction type of vibe we get with Aries. Okay, like me. These people definitely want to be first. They can also be quite competitive, Aries energy. So when we're talking about Mars and Aries, this is someone who, first of all, they're not shy. They're not shy about going after what they want. Again, you gotta look at every aspect, but specifically talking about Mars and Aries, yeah, these people are very much so direct. And you know, one thing I do respect about Aries is that they tend to just be very confrontational. Now that word can be taken the wrong way, but it just means to confront. And so with these people, like, they don't have that ability to manipulate or hide behind their motives. It is what it is with them. So in the matters of like going after what they want, they're very much relentless in their pursuit, and they tend to get what they want because of this. Very entrepreneurial minded, business savvy. These people do tend to be the leaders or need to take leadership positions in the workplace in order to fully thrive and manifest in their full capabilities. With Mars and Aries, as kids, they could have had a lot of head injuries. You know, Mars is like our physical body. Aries rules the head. So again, like a lot of bumping into things. A lot of like something about their head could be like interesting or prominent. Even their hair. Yeah, and also, you know, getting into the sex. They tend to move pretty fast. They tend to want to exchange that sexual energy with you right away. Scorpio is the original, Mars originally ruled Scorpio until Pluto was discovered. So Scorpio, Mars is still under Scorpio is still under co-rulership of Mars. Okay, so with that being said, you kind of get to see two sides of Mars play out, and they're kind of completely different. Whereas both of them are combative and very focused on what they want, Scorpios are going to play like the long game, the more seductive game. Aries, they're more, when you think of Scorpio, you want to think of like the spy. When you think of Aries, you think more of like the soldier, okay, like, but more so like the soldier on the front lines, the kind that's running at you. So when it comes to them trying to pursue you, especially sexually, they don't take their time. They're not going to be shy about expressing that they're interested in you, especially if your Mars is trining. If your Sun or your Venus is trining this person's Mars, oh yeah, they're going to be all over you physically, okay? In the bedroom, they can like lean towards the more selfish side. They like to dominate. They like to be in control in the bedroom. Even with the women, okay, like with their men, they tend to, or the women with their women, they tend to want to be in control and just want you to kind of just lay there and just let them do whatever. This Mars sign doesn't have the best stamina, in my opinion, because of the quick temper, the quick nature of Mars. That's not to say that they can't perform, but they would just be a lot more focused. They could tend to be a lot more focused on themselves, and a little bit more sexually selfish with this placement, is what I've seen. But again, you have to look at everything. Now, they will definitely, like I was saying earlier, they go after what they want. So they definitely like the chase. They'll take the initiative. Mars is like, Aries is like the barbarian, the warrior, okay? Like that masculine, savage type energy. So when they're interested in you, they can be more into the chase, and if they get you right away, they could lose interest pretty fast. You kind of want to keep them on the chase. Kind of like the less interested you are in them, the better, in terms of like prolonging like that physical gratification that they so desperately will seek out, because you'll see them kind of jumping through hoops like that Mars and Aries warrior energy would in trying to pursue you, and you kind of want to keep that up. You don't want them to burn out, because once the pursuit is there, it's kind of just like, okay, great, what else is next for me to conquer? Similar to like Sun conjunct Mars, this vibe gives me in terms of just like someone who enjoys the chase, but they may not, their ability to like be into someone past that initial stage of infatuation, physical infatuation, is going to depend on other like things that you guys have in common, like, you know, synastry matters. So yeah, I think that's all I have for Mars. Oh, in terms of their dress and their style, fitness wear, ready to go, ready to like shoot hoops, kicks, even the girls, okay? These aren't the girly girls necessarily. They're usually more like tomboy, athletic wear. You won't necessarily catch them in heels. No. With the guys too, like I said, just some more masculine. They're on the same axis as Libra, so these people dress nicely, but the way they dress is more so based off of their own physical comfort, with their own motivations, what they're gonna do, their own physical activity. They're dressing for themselves pretty much in that regard. Similar to Aries ascendant, but with Mars and Aries, it's more so representing your drive, your ambition. So if these people are going to an interview, they're going to dress for that. They're going to dress for the part, but they're not the types to overdress. And like I said, typically with the women, I see like a more tomboy style. Yeah, so that's all I have for Mars and Aries. Stay tuned for Mars and Taurus.